Once upon a time in New York City, the land of towering ambition and glittering glass empires, lived a woman who built her kingdom brick by brick, room by lavish room. Her name was Leona Helmsley, and for years she ruled the skyline like royalty. But behind the designer suits and million-dollar smiles was a sharp tongue, a colder heart, and a secret that would bring her empire crashing down. Leona Mindy Roberts wasn't born into power. She came into the world in Brooklyn, 1920, during an era when women were expected to be silent, obedient, and small. But there was nothing small about Leona. From the start, she refused to be ordinary. She clawed her way out of the lower middle class with grit and charm, reinventing herself over and over. Model, saleswoman, real estate agent, until she landed not just a job, but a kingdom, the Helmsley Empire. It was Harry Helmsley, the real estate mogul of Manhattan, who gave her the keys to that kingdom. He fell for her boldness. She didn't just join his world, she reshaped it. As his wife and business partner, Leona transformed Helmsley Hotels into a luxury brand for the elite. Marble lobbies, gold-plated chandeliers, hand-stitched linens. Opulence was the Helmsley standard, and Leona, she was the face of it all. Her ads declared, "The only palace in the world where the queen stands guard." It wasn't just a slogan, she believed it. But behind the polished exteriors and luxury linens was a reign of terror. Employees whispered her name with dread. She was ruthless, firing staff over a smudge on a glass or a crooked bedsheet. The Queen of Mean, they called her, and the crown fit. Her power wasn't just in her wealth, it was in fear. No one crossed Leona and kept their job. And then came the mistake. Not a spilled drink or a crooked towel, but arrogance. The kind that thinks it can outsmart the law. As her empire soared, so did her greed. She and Harry began billing personal expenses as business costs, designer clothes, a $1 million marble dance floor, even her dog's expenses. When asked about taxes, she scoffed. "We don't pay taxes. Only the little people pay taxes." The room may have laughed, but the IRS was listening. The fall came swiftly. In 1988, federal investigators uncovered years of tax fraud. Millions were hidden, written off, or stolen in plain sight. Leona was charged with over 30 counts of tax evasion, fraud, and conspiracy. As the headlines rolled in, the Queen of Mean stood trial, not in her penthouse, but in a courtroom packed with journalists and angry citizens. Her employees, once silent, lined up to testify. They spoke of cruelty, of deceit, of a woman who believed rules were for the poor. The jury didn't take long. Guilty, Leona Helmsley was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison. A marble cell traded for cold concrete. She served 18 months. When she emerged, older and quieter, she faded from the spotlight. But Leona wasn't done. making headlines. In her will, she left behind billions and gave $12 million of it to her dog, Trouble. Yes, Trouble the Maltese. Her family, largely cut out. Even in death, she controlled the narrative. Leona Helmsley's story is not just about greed. It's about power. How it lifts, how it corrupts, and how it collapses. She was a queen who built a kingdom out of granite and gold, and lost it to arrogance and fear. Some call her a villain, others a victim of her own ambition. But no one can deny she left her mark on the city that made her. In the end, her empire was built on marble, but her downfall was written in stone. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Was Leona a tyrant, or just a woman who refused to play small in a man's world?